Hey guys, my name is Jesse, and today we're going to be reviewing the 9-inch Woodskil that I found on Amazon. Not many reviews, or any reviews really on it at all, and no videos last time I checked on the bandsaw itself. So why don't we get in a little bit closer and take a check of this bandsaw. No, I'm not having a stroke. I just this that you notice right away is it's solid metal, other than the knobs, but this is solid metal, which the cheaper Harbor Freight model is plastic. Knowing this is metal, it's just better for your psyche, you know. Sometimes just knowing it's metal, even though it has no real advantage, it just feels better about the product. Gives it more weight, I guess, so that there is some structural feel to it that makes it better when it's metal. The levers are just these cam little pieces here, and it's just very easy to access. You have your blade runout knob up here and in the back to tighten and adjust that. Same over here in the back, you can tighten and loosen this blade height guide tensioner right here and adjust it up and down. I'm probably going to get some of these names wrong, like the blade height adjustment tensioner probably isn't right, but you know what I'm talking about. The fence it comes with has this little wing nut under here to keep things nice and tight. It's relatively flat, especially for 180 bucks. It's I would say it's like a $300 flat for a $180 table saw bandsaw. That's pretty good. Comes with a little metal fence as well. Doesn't auto parallel, so you just got to use a square and use the top as a reference when setting that up. That does take a little bit of time to get it set up right, but I feel that probably the more I do it, the easier it'll get. Comes with 2.5-inch dust collection port on the back. You can probably see that through there. When you do buy this, you do have to install the top, and one of the things here is there is a nut and bolt here that you adjust to get that nice and level. On the back side, you also have the ability to loosen two knobs here, and then you can actually angle this as well, which I've used, and it was nice. It was nice to be able to have that function. And it also comes with a miter gauge, and the miter slot and gauge actually fit together pretty nice. There's a little bit of play, but for a $180 bandsaw, that's less play than I was anticipating, so that's nice. It's pretty quiet. I can turn it on right now. Sounds like a sewing machine, a little louder than a sewing machine in my opinion. So what I'm going to do, I actually have some oak, hickory, ash, and catapola. I don't know why I added an accent to it, but that just sounded really good. So it's not an exotic wood, despite the accent. I live in the northeast of the United States, and it's the tree that grows like the big long green string beans. That's catapola. I think that's how you say it. So I'm going to cut those, but before I do that, I'm going to pull this back a little bit so I can hook up my dust collector to it. So I'm going to turn on my dust collector. It shouldn't be too loud. If you have headphones, maybe just take this into consideration, that I'm going to be turning on my dust collector and we'll be cutting some wood as well. So we're going to start with the catapola. It's actually a pretty soft wood. It's a hard wood, but it's pretty soft and light. So you can see with that cut, it just cut through it like butter. I'm going to cut them all and then we'll look at the cuts real quick. This is the hickory. If you've ever cut hickory before, you know it's pretty difficult. Not difficult, but it's a harder wood. That was pretty good. It's a big piece of red oak. Big piece. It definitely strained it when it cut it. And a piece of ash. All right, so let's take a look at the red oak first. This is the cut This is with the stock 38 TPI blade that it comes with. I have been doing cuts on this before, so the blade isn't fresh, but it's also shouldn't be dull. That's for what I need this for, that is an excellent cut. And the fact that it actually went through this with only minor hesitation, that's pretty awesome. Okay, next we have the hickory. If you've ever cut hickory before, it's a pretty hard wood. I mean, although it did just mark itself, it does cut pretty difficult, at least in my opinion. And that is a pretty clean cut. There we are. So that's pretty promising. Right. So ash is pretty hardwood as well. Maybe not as hard as oak, but it's a fierce competitor, you know, and that's a good clean cut. It's gonna need minor sanding, and that was just with a 38 tooth. That was a rip cut as well. And then yeah, the Catapola, I mean, like it's super light. You can kind of hear how it's not very dense, but cut it. Where did I cut it? Like this. Cut it very well. Is that how I cut it? Yeah, I did actually cut it like this too yesterday with the bandsaw in my other attempt at a review. This 9-inch bandsaw made by Woodskil, whoever that is quite a good buy at 180 bucks. Solid metal, cuts through everything that I needed to, minus that white oak. But I didn't buy it to resaw white oak with, and I was just giving it a shot. So overall, I can definitely recommend this.